Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham reaction for match day 35, where Wrexham AFC beat Accrington Stanley 4-0 and a hat trick from the man, Super Paul Mullin, baby. 19 minutes, he had a hat trick going. That was awesome. Great first half for him. Great game for us to come back. As you can see on the thumbnail, it says HOLT that. Yeah, thank you, Andy Holt, for giving us the motivation for doing this and coming out. So that is why we have the HOLT that up on the thumbnail. So. Sorry. Yes. Just want to know I'm not blink twice if you need help. No, I'm okay. There's a house full of people here, and the only place I could do it was in this room. So yes, I apologize for the setup and everything like that, but I wanted to get a Wrexham reaction up to everybody and get my thoughts on the game yesterday. So smash a like on the video, subscribe. We're on the road to 500. Yes, we're on the road to 500. We are 51 subscribers away from 500. And that is thanks to everyone that has been involved the past 6 months of the show and sticking with us. So share it, like it, and let's get into this. Yes, let's talk about this fantastic game yesterday. I just rewatched the goals. I just listened to the reaction from the manager and to Jacob Mendy. And I got to tell you, my highlights of it were obviously the hat trick that Mullin had, and some of the defensive play, mainly Max and O'Connell. O'Connell playing back there, I thought they played really, really well. But the three goals that Mullin scored were class, absolute class. Going into the manager, what he was saying, he said, he felt at the last game, against Forest Green, he said that he thought the penalty, which was late on, the penalty had gotten Mullin up for it and gotten his spark back. Yes, and there's been much out there about, like, is Mullin fully fit? Is his lung still injuring him? Is he trying too hard? For me, maybe he has been trying too hard, he very, very passionate about the club and very, very strong in this league, and he's a fantastic player. So whatever it is, the penalty in the last game, the manager thought it sparked him on, which is great. So I thought that was awesome. So Mullin's movement was really, really key. Him and Palmer started up front, you could see that their partnership is they really like each other. And you can see they like playing with each other. And I think that is probably, at this point, probably the best partnership that Parkinson wants to put together. By the way, I'm watching the women's final, Wrexham final versus in the Brute Cup, the New Saints versus Wrexham. It is the 61st minute, and the women are still up 1-0, Wrexham women. So they're trying to get some silverware there, as I digress. But yes, I think Parkinson feels like that's his best two up front. Maybe Fletcher, but I think Ollie and Moles play well together. The manager did go on to say, he said Ollie deserved his place in the team, which I thought was a very interesting way of putting it. Ollie deserved his place in the team. Obviously, he hasn't been on the bench a little bit, hasn't been in the team squad, and he started yesterday. And I thought his in the first half, he had a ball. Boyle put a ball over the top to him. I thought he took it down brilliantly with his right foot, 2 touches in, shot on goal. Could have opened it up right there. But I thought Ollie played really well. That we lagged a little bit, and we'll talk about the second half and some of the issues that that keep creeping up about some of the management style with Parkinson, which is fine. But I thought Ollie played really well, partnering up front. Didn't win all of his headers, which is not, you're not going to do that. But his hold up play, seemingly at times was really good and helping out Mullin and creating space for him. Let's talk about that. Talk about the other people that Parkinson wanted to talk about on his match reaction. He said he thought Jacob Mendy had his best performance of the season, that he was dangerous and physical, aggressive in the final third. I totally agree with that. Jacob was in his normal position. I thought him playing at the left back, charging up front, and having Macca in the middle of the park with the headband and the armband on yesterday, although it didn't help him from getting a yellow card, for God's sake. So he's like one away from him sitting out 2 matches. You got to be careful on that, getting his 10. But he talked about Mendy, that he's dangerous and physical, really herky-jerky, cutting the ball back, left and right, aggressive, moving forward. I thought he was great, and I think that was a good note that the Parkinson put in there in his post-game chat. He also spoke about Boyle. Said Boyle played really well and strong. He thought that the times when he was out playing, even though he got a couple of yellow cards when he was out playing, that he deserved a spot, and he also had played strong and well. And I thought Boyle did play really well yesterday. We weren't lumping the ball, and when we had to sit back defensively, at times you were a little too deep. He put himself about and made some good tackles there too, next to AO and Max back there too. Specifically, he went on to talk about O'Connell. O'Connell was nervous. He said it was a long day on Wednesday because O'Connell went off injured on Tuesday. He thought it'd be a longer one, for him to be out, but he's good to be back. And it was good to see O'Connell back in there. His passing was great. I thought he won a lot of headers. He's not very fast, but his positioning is really well to get balls in off the toe of the strikers. I thought their strikers really didn't worry us in the first half. Maybe no one got turned, and the passing out of the back was fantastic, and that was brought up too. That was brought up too by Parkinson. Mentioned that too. He is really elite passing in regard to being a good center half. Pushes forward, finds the ball. It was the first half specifically was a fantastic performance. Yeah, which I totally agree. And we were a little more crisp, a lot more movement, and the pressing up front, which led to the second goal. And like I said, we're going to talk about the goals in a second here, which led to the second goal, was indicative of how we should be doing, which is why I thought Maka in the middle of the park really worked well. He's actually more of a hole position. He was kind of sitting in the hole. So it's like like they had a diamond up front and they were kind of just pressing and moving. I thought it was a really good first half for us. And, on that note, moving forward, talking about AO, which he didn't bring up, Parkinson. I want to talk about AO. AO is had a little bit of a blip in the beginning of the middle part of the season, beginning of the year, and he's totally solid. He had to come out and make some saves in that second half when we were getting a little ropey, a little leggy at times, but he made some really good saves and kept us in it. And his kicking was better yesterday. His passing, controlling the ball, he's got really good long arms, so he throws the ball out really well. And it seems like that back line, him, Max, and Max, AO, O'Connell and Boyle have a good little chemistry back there working. So AO played really well, and he made some really good saves, especially one down to his left later on in the second half that kept us in it. And there was one, I think he got lucky. Ball came in. I think the ball bounced, and their striker put it over the bar. But he kept his clean sheet, and that's all that really mattered. And we rode our luck a little bit at the end there. But AO, I thought, played really well. Another clean sheet on him. So hopefully we can grab him this summer. That's what I'm hoping for as we go up, because I still maintain we're going to go up, man. I still maintain we're going to go up. Of all the talk that we all have and everyone having their choices, don't think we're going to do it. I still think we're going to go up. We can still win this league. Had some good results yesterday too that kept us in it. Some games weren't played. But let's talk about the goals real quick. Again, the first goal, Mullin, really, just striker's goal right there for him. Let's talk about it real quick. I move my thing down here. Sorry, working without a net here. First goal, Max was really high up the pitch. I didn't get to talk about Max too, and I'll talk about this after the goal. Max was high up the pitch, looks really comfortable up there. Passes the ball to Barnett, who's overlapping. Barnett crosses the ball in. It's a brilliant cross in, by the way. Brilliant cross in. Front post. Mulls does what strikers do, knocking the ball down and bang in the back of the net. Keeper had no chance at that one. And floodgates right in front of the cop. Let's do that. He scores his 93rd goal of his career at Wrexham. He's unbelievable. Right in front of the cop. And it was unmarked, but it was a great goal. It was good to see that little passage to play, because there was a nice little 1-2 with Max and Barnett up there, and it said Max is, just growing in stature. The time that he's playing on the pitch and getting here, invaluable at 21, 22 years old. He's 21 years old. Invaluable. He looks very, very comfortable pushing up a little bit further. At times, I thought he was pushed up a little bit further, but that's the way Parkinson wanted to play him, and it ended up working out. And just his ball skills are great. He uses his body really well. I equate it to like boxing out in basketball. Gets his body between ball man, which is good, and he's got pretty decent passing. So I know, and wins his headers too. So him pushing up the pitch caused that goal to happen, and getting out to Barney, who put a fantastic cross in, really fantastic goal. That's the first goal. Second goal was all made by Maka at the beginning. Again, pressing up front, which is something we haven't been doing. Pressing up front. Maka gets in, physical, headband and all, passes the ball to Mulls. Mulls 35 yards out, bang, puts one in the back of the net. Right footer, low left cross. Keeper had no chance at that one. No chance. He might even got a fingertip on it, but keeper had no chance. And I got to give credit to that keeper, because he made a couple good double saves later on in the match, one being keeping Tozer out. So keeper wasn't a shit keeper. He did really well to not make it 5 or 6. And he also saved one of Mull's chances at some point later on too was a headed down ball from Palmer, and keeper made a good save on that. So that keeper was good. But on that second goal, Maka comes in, gets touch tight, takes the ball off him, quick pass to Mullin, bang, back of the net, and we're riding here. And that's his 94th goal, and we're up 2-0. 2-0 going into about the 30, like maybe 28, 30 minutes right there. So really impressed on that note. And then third goal, it was a vicious ball in from Elliott Lee, just a super cross, comes in back of the net. Back post, goes across the front of the goal somehow, some way. Mull sees this happening. Another one gets his head on it, where it puts your head where you shouldn't be putting your head, and gets his hat trick of the day. And 35 minutes in, we're up 3, and we're cruising. We're absolutely cruising. But that cross was made to perfection by Elliott Lee, just getting it in. There was a really low cross, just kind of like looped it in, bang, bang back of the back post there. And I was really just impressed with that. Cannon pushed the ball out wide. Good thing about what we were doing, we were getting those balls out wide rather than putting the balls over the top, although it did lead to, in the beginning, Boyle did put one over the top for Palmer to get in, but we weren't doing that. We were pushing the ball out wide and getting the crosses in the box. I mean, you got a guy like Mulls and you got like a guy like Palmer that get their head and their feet on the ball, and that's why those goals are happening. So very impressive hat trick, and very impressive play from the pressing up front with Maka sitting in that hole, running around, doing the dirty work, and causing havoc up there in that first half. So impressive. And the fourth goal, again, Elliott Lee. So Lee and Mulls teaming up together. Mullin, Lee feeds the ball to Mullin on the left side. Mullin kicks it back to him, pulls it back to him, and Lee, Johnny on the spot, one touch, 2, bang, back of the net, just celebrating that goal. And I think he's got 16 of the year, 15 or 16 of the year. So that was an impressive 1-2, and those guys helping each other out. Mullin had a hat trick, and he had a great assist. So obviously he's going to be my man of the match. So Mulls is my man of the match. We'll get that out of the way. So very impressive for those two, and then pressing high up the pitch again. And Elliott Lee took that goal really nicely. It was out under his feet, and just to get that out and get the power to get by the keeper was also very impressive. Going into later on, Mulch should have passed the ball to Maka in the 45th minute for our fifth goal at that time. He got a little bit selfish. He is he's a striker. I get it, but he should have passed that ball a little bit through to McElhenney, who was pushed up front. But again, I have no notes in that first half. I have 0 notes in that first half. I thought we played spectacular. At that point, the game should have been over, done and dusted. But it's the League Two, and things happen, and we did obviously win the match. But for me, but it's still 1-0 up. Wrexham, 75th minute. In the Butte, whatever this thing is called, the Butte something or other. Let me just check it out. The new Butte Energy Welsh Cup semifinal. Butte Energy Welsh Cup semifinal. That's what it is. 1-0 up. So second half, going into it, obviously we had the lads on yesterday. We had Ivan, and we had Ivan and Sheldon on yesterday for the watch along, so that was great to see them. Second half was very frustrating. It's a tale of two halves, and I mean that in a positive way, that we still won the goddamn game. But we had a few chances. They had some chances. We rode our luck a bit, like I mentioned earlier. I think my biggest complaint of Parkinson, it has to be said, he needs to sub guys earlier. He has to but he won't do it. He had 72nd minute, people are coming on. 87th minute, people are coming on. I think Fletch and Bolt came on, but Mulls has his hat trick. He get him off at 60, whatever, and then bring on JM for me to like get a shot. What's JM going to play for 8 minutes for? He's not going to score a goal. He just wasn't sharp, and he proved that point. Maybe played longer than that. Maybe it was 20 minutes. Proving the point that if you maybe get him off the schneid a little bit, as Ivan calls him, Billy Waters 2.0. No, we don't want that. I mean, he's very quick, but my main concern is I didn't want people to get hurt. Collecting yellow cards as we did, and it was a red card. Andy Cannon came very, very close to being injured. Luckily, he jumped. That was the 91st minute. I don't think he would ever have taken Cannon off. But getting subs off earlier, I was getting people off earlier, and getting subs on. I think that's my biggest complaint. And then obviously Tozer came on for O'Connell. I think that was good because I think it was a calf issue for O'Connell. So that is my only complaint for Parkinson for yesterday. But going into this match, I said we had to win it. And we did. We were up for the challenge, and I think it was very, very impressive. Like I said, very, very impressive game yesterday all around. And we did get some. I would say some favorable results yesterday, and I'm going to choose that. We are sitting in third place. We have, and the Stockport game was pushed yesterday. Let me try to see if I can get these the matches are yesterday. So yesterday's matches went as so. Wimbledon did a job on the Dons, 1-0, fantastic. Morecambe, there you go. Morecambe 3-2 on Crew Alexander, fantastic. Newport County didn't show up yesterday. They lost to Mansfield Town. Would have liked to have seen that. Sorry, Kieran. I wish you guys put up a little bit more of a fight. Obviously, we won 4-0. Harrogate Town 1-1. Swindon won. Harrogate Town, Swindon 1-1. Bradford City and Notts were postponed. Crawley Town and Barrow were postponed, waterlogged pitches. Colchester, Stockport postponed, but that might do like a fixture pile up for us. Walsall against Doncaster, 3-1. Walsall won 3-1. Gillingham beat Salford 2-0. Grimsby beat Forest, who are probably dreaded for the drop at that point, and Tranmere beat Sutton 1-0. And obviously, so Morecambe play on Tuesday. We do not play. Our next game is next Saturday. And Mansfield and NKB Dons play on Tuesday as well, Barrow as well. But let me see here. We got some helpful. The Morecambe game yesterday really helped us out. Mansfield, like I said, didn't help us out at all. But sitting in third, 63 points, 3 behind Mansfield. They have a game in hand instead of Stockport. But for the form guide, I'm looking at it right now. MK Dons, they did a job at 58 points, and Crew has 61 points. Walsall, Jesus, there's all green, man. 5 in a row. Walsall are on fire. So Walsall, maybe they can do a job on some of the other teams on us. But we got good favorable results as today, and hopefully we can turn this in. We're on Saturday. We're going to Morecambe. We have a resting week off. We have a good resting week, and going back to Mendy actually spoke about that. Maybe we can get some rest for this week, get people back to a little bit fully fit. Just get into the ice bath, whatever you got to do. Just chill out, and get to there. They interviewed Mendy afterwards too. I wanted to just quickly touch on that. He said the first half they were clinical. He said they knew what they had to do get things done, get the job done, and we did that well. And I thought we did. I thought we really did. And like I said, going into the match, the Andy Holt does fueling the fire with the chairman, which I'm going to talk about because Rob was there yesterday. Good to see him. Rob was even with the cops yesterday, posing with the cops yesterday at some point. They said that thank you for the town. So it's cool to see. But yeah, we needed to show that we're going to go up there and we can go and win this match, whatever it is. Get the Jordan motion mentality. This guy was talking about raising the prices, lowering the prices, put that on Netflix crap. Didn't matter. That's the motivation. Go out there with an impressive whip. Could have been 6, 7, or 8. Would have liked that, but 4-0. Get that goal diff up, which is helping us out. I think we're at our goal diff is now 19. So the only 2 teams that have a higher goal diff is Mansfield Town with 39 and Stockport with 29. So we're never probably not going to catch them at this point, but it is what it is. But getting our goal diff up is great. We could have had 5 or 6. Mendy went on to say that having Mullin and Palmer in the box, getting crosses in, they don't have to be great crosses. They're going to put their head where they need to be and get their feet on it and score goals. Very, very impressed. And Mendy, I thought he played really well. He was aggressive, and the manager mentioned that too. So good to see that. All around good performance, especially in the first half. So on the website here, this is the Wrexham AFC website. There was an interview with co-chairman Rob McElhenney after the Accrington Stanley win. Rob was all smiles yesterday, and that's why he's on our thumbnail too. Good to see him there. I don't think he's been there in a bit. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Rob, have been for several years before all this. The co-chairman, Rob McElhenney, jumped into Paul Mullin's post-match interview with the written press and media as Wrexham claimed a 4-0 victory over Accrington Stanley. Speaking about Mullin, the Red Dragons hat-trick hero, McElhenney said, "The question I get more than anything is, are these guys like that in real life?" That was Rob. Paul is exactly like this all the time, and everyone once in a while, I want to get him and to tell him how great he is. And it's always the same answer every week. I just put in a shift, I do my work, and then I go back home to my family. That's Rob saying that. Having been able to witness Wrexham's second biggest league win of the season, McElhenney admitted that it was his quote, "It was an incredibly fortunate week to pick, but I have nothing to do. But I have nothing to do with what goes on out there. These players are special." I think Rob was basically saying, he's like, I just come to watch the games. I'm here to support, and he just was lucky enough to be there to watch this match in particularly. Rob went on to say, what a beautiful sport. When you put in the work like Paul does, good things happen. The man you see in the documentary is the man who he is. He has inspired millions of people all over the world. So have you, Rob, by the way. All over the world, me included. All over the world for so many different reasons. I'm so proud that he is part of this organization, and not just because he scores a hat trick every once in a while. Such a classy guy, Rob. And again, what you and Ryan have done have also inspired people in the town and all over the world. like I said, myself included. So pat yourself on the back, which they never will do, just because in a way, that's how they are. They're good guys. Wrexham co-chairman also got to see the fourth wall temporary cop in action. Yes, the fourth wall, and I've been saying it, the four walls. I've been saying it for a while, and I think they temporarily named it four walls because Rob has his four walls whiskey with his Always Sunny guys, Charlie Day and Glenn Howerton. You got to see the temporary cop. And at it, I love the new cop. I've asked the players for their thoughts on it and if they are enjoying it, because to me, it adds so much more vibrancy and action. And I totally agree. The most important thing is to make sure that another 2,300 people can get tickets. And it's harder and harder to get tickets. The bigger plan, as everyone knows, is to build a bigger stand, eventually another big stand, so that everybody in Wrexham can be accommodated. The more games this man Mullin plays for this club, the bigger the club is going to be, is going to continue to get. And he's exactly right. We're here for it. We are absolutely here for it. So big shout out to Mullin. Big shout out to Rob McElhenney for getting there and putting such beautiful words out there for all to listen to and praising his players. Honestly, he's a great guy. Hopefully one day we'll get to meet him in person. All right. So we do not have a game on Tuesday, which is great. That's good rest for us. Really good rest for us. And I think we're going to need it because we're going to have this run coming up. We got Morecambe next. Morecambe is our next match. I'm going to try to see what that is an away game at Morecambe. We're doing that Saturday. We will be there, but we'll have shows obviously during the week this week. We'll have live shows as well. I travel tomorrow back up home, so we'll do that live show for the Saturday match on the 9th. Then we have a Tuesday game against Harrogate Town. That is a home game at the STōK. Another home game against Tranmere, Grimsby Town away, and Mansfield Town home on the 29th. That brings us to the end of March there. So very, very impressive run we need to do. Markham, Harrogate, Tranmere, Grimsby, and Mansfield. Mansfield, that's a 6-pointer, straight up 6-pointer. And that's how we're gonna, we'll see what we're gonna look at. We got all those games. There's points available to win. 36 games, which will be the one coming up. There's points out there to win. We are in this race. I don't give a crap that we had our bottle. We bottled a few games and drew some, and we looked like crap. And yes, I have my issues with Parkinson too, but look where we're at in there. I still think we're going to go up. I still think we can win this league. Just the math is math. The games are there, the points are there, and we have 6 pointers against two. Last game is against Stockport. I know you don't want to. We don't want to go into and trying to going against some of the hottest teams in there, but Stockport haven't been playing that well. Mansfield have been playing really well, but we are in this, and motivation game yesterday. We'll find the motivation from Morecambe, and it is an away match. We'll travel there, but it's really good. We're in a really good position. I'm really happy for it. So, all right, that's it. That is the Wrexham reaction for match day 35. Was it? I think it was match day 35. Let me just double check. Match day 35 as I scroll this up. Yeah. Match day 35. Wrexham had a really, really fantastic first half. Second half, again, wasn't spectacular. Really good, fantastic first half with Mullins and hat trick, and Elliot Lee scored some goals and great defensive unit there. And AO impressive with another clean sheet in the middle of the park. We did dominate with pressing up front. So good to see. All right, that's your Wrexham reaction on that bombshell. I will see you all soon.